What's up, everyone? All right, well, Green Day recap, finishing the day here up just about $20,000, trading APOP and CYTH, but APOP was the biggest winner, and it's a stock that has a history of popping and fading. Knew that going into it and didn't want to overstay my welcome. So book some profits pre-market, book some profits at the bell. In this recap, you'll see some live trading right at the open. It was wild. Warrior Pro students, you'll have access to this in the live trading archives, but those of you guys here on YouTube, you'll get a sneak preview. I hope you enjoy it. Please hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. We're working towards hitting 1 million subscribers on the channel this year. We won't get there without your help. And as a reminder, as always, my disclaimer, trading is risky. Most beginner traders lose money. So approach this skill or strategy or side hustle or career, or whatever you want to call it, with caution. Trading is simulated before you put real money on the line. And I hope you guys enjoy the recap, and I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning during the morning show. All right, everyone, so we're going to do our midday market recap here. I'm finishing the morning up 20,000. I was beat by Farad. He posted a screenshot of being up 40,000 today. Doubled the teacher. So baby bird has left the nest. Good for you, man. We're super impressed. He's got a 100K badge in the chat room, and that's always good to see. I'm genuinely happy. I'm competitive, but I'm genuinely happy to see you doing that well. It's great. So my trades from today, up 20,000. As always, in case you didn't already know, trading is risky. Most beginner traders lose money. My results are not typical. Neither are his, or probably anyone that made $40,000 or $50,000 today. We would be among the minority. However, this is the strategy I trade every day. It's momentum trading, and it's a buy high, sell higher type of strategy, and APOP was one of the ones that I did quite well on, although it was risky for a couple of reasons. Pre-market, it had made this really big move. This was actually after hours. It drops down. Then pre-market, it surges up to a high of 880. Now, when I saw APOP on the scanner, I was like, all right, APOP, I know this stock. All right, I know this stock because it has a history of popping up and selling off. But the fact that it has a history of making big moves is sort of what's more significant, because in each of these days, while these days closed red, there was still a lot of volatility and a lot of opportunity. And so I traded it on many of these days. We go back a little bit further. There's, you just look at the volume. You can see these are the big days. So I knew APOP had a high likelihood of being another kind of pop and drop fade type of stock, since it's done that in the past. And initially, when it was in this area at 466, I had no interest. I was like, nope, not interested at all. And at that time, I was actually trading CYTH, which I'll talk about those trades in a second. This one also pretty disappointing day here. It's actually lower than yesterday, despite what seems like good news. Anyways, APOP, we'll focus on this one first. So on this one, I started getting interested in it as it approached the volume weighted average price right here. As it spiked on this candle, I was like, all right, you know what? It's up over $1 a share. Clearly it's moving. It makes sense, I think, at this point for me to try to find some opportunity on it. And so I actually, if you look at this right here, this was a 1 minute pullback underneath the volume weighted average price. And I got long right here. Boom. Jumped in that trade up to 590. Pulls back around 6. Another 1 minute pullback right here. A trade through 6. Doesn't hold that level. Drops back down. Pulls back, drops down. And then at the open, a nice gap and go. But a little wild. Pretty wild. A lot of volatility right at the open here. And then it came back down. So, in this area, you could almost look at this as a head and shoulders pattern. The shoulder here, the head here, and the other shoulder on this side. I don't know that it's perfect, but you can kind of visualize that. I'll grab a screenshot of this to add to the classes for the next time we do live classes. Let me just grab this here. So APOP, let me pull up one of my recordings here. So Warrior Pro students, you'll have access to this in the live archives. You can watch it and rewatch it. But coming right into the open, it was wild, and I knew it was going to be wild. I knew that it carried a lot of risk. Trading these at the open, we just can see some wild moves. So we're about 30 seconds from the bell here in this recording. So you're going to see the open in just 1 second. And so the lowest risk trades, in my opinion, were on the earlier 1 minute pullbacks before it kind of started to get choppy. And of course, right at the open is obviously when we see high levels of risk. So as we come into the bell, we know that we have a high likelihood of seeing a big whip. So here's the open. The bell rings. I thought I saw some green on the tape. Let's see, it was right back here. I think I saw some green like right there at 68, 69, 78, and I said, all right, I'm punching it in 12,000 shares at 79. Looking for the breakthrough 6. There's 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. It's got a breakthrough 6. Seller at 6, and I'm saying, no, I'm worried because this could reverse instantly, and that's the type of thing we've been seeing on these at the open. So sold it there at 93, which on 12,000 shares is like $1,500. And then looking to add back, orders at 610. Adding back right there for the breakthrough 6. There's 610, 615, nice. Order goes out to sell half at 612. Taking some profit off the table. There's 618, 620. Taking a little more off the table. Now I'm gonna let it dip. New order moving it up to 620. And I continue trading. That's a little sneak preview of what Warrior Pro students get to see in the live trading archives. So I'm not gonna do the whole thing on YouTube, but educational, I'm sure. I hope you guys enjoy it. And definitely a wild ride this morning on APOP. All the way up to 715. I think my best exit on this was probably around, actually I got a, I got a partial fill exit at 710, but I also added at 710. So that was kind of, I bought and then I guess I sold. But anyways, so that was APOP. It's selling off now. I'm not interested in it anymore. CYTH was also one of our leading gappers. Our leading gapper today was APOP. Second leader, HWCC, buyout. IMMP, this is one of the ones that Farad was trading, and he obviously did really well on that one. I didn't trade it. A little bit of a bigger float. Wasn't sure whether or not it was going to be a big momentum stock, but anyways, it's it's just kind of the way that is. And then CIDM and ENOB. Let's see, ENOB, and then we had CYTH. Good call, Mark. I will check that. Yeah, that I might have to look at that. I'm gonna have to look at that, especially with bigger size. That's a good call. So I'm just gonna make a note on that. Let's see. Okay. So CYTH, man, what a disappointing sell-off there from 1350 down to 9. I mean, that's really kind of, it's a bummer to see that when the stock actually had news. But sometimes this happens. And so pre-market, we were watching it and I said, all right, well, this is the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. I don't want to buy that because it's below VWAP. It's a little too weak. Didn't buy that, but then did buy right around this area here on a dip off of the VWAP. Bought this dip off VWAP and caught this squeeze here up to 1370. Took some profit out, added back on a dip, took some more profit up in the 1350, 60s. But unfortunately, it didn't hold that level. It rejected. I was hoping, I tried to do a bounce off the VWAP and it broke below it and went lower. It just couldn't hold up. And it's really a shame because it looked like it had a lot of potential and it looked like it was going to be the leading gapper. And then as we had this sell-off coming into the open, all of a sudden it started dropping down the gap scanner, and it was actually gapping up only 10%, which is not the big gap that I was hoping for. So that was at that point when I switched from CYTH to focus on APOP, which between the two at that moment was certainly looking better. And it's probably worth noting, just because of the way the market works, that when there's one obvious stock, a lot of sort of the other stocks will fade as all the focus is on one stock. And that was APOP. So if APOP had not popped up, it's actually possible that CYTH would have gotten more attention, because it would have still been something people would have been looking for dip trades on. People usually just look at the most kind of volatile, biggest gapper and then just start actively trading it. And so sometimes you have the case where you have one that's the obvious one, and then it kind of goes out of favor as another one picks up that makes an even bigger move, and everyone sort of switches focus to that one. I mean, you've got millions of traders out there, and so it's not surprising with access to high-a-day momentum scanners and things like that most traders are going to focus on what's moving up right now, because momentum trading is buy high, sell higher. And that certainly was the case on all of these stocks today. It's always the case, whether we're talking about GameStop, APOP, or CYTH. I mean, it's stocks moving up, buy high, sell higher. This could have been a 1-minute micro pullback right there at 134 on GameStop, went up to 144. I didn't take that trade. I didn't feel comfortable with the risk on it, but it's the same idea. So anyways, that's where I finished today, and this is where I'm sitting on the month. Gross profit 340, net profit 293, accuracy a little lower than I'd like. Profit loss ratio, 1-to-1, not as good as I'd like, but that's where I sit right now. So we'll look at the overview, we'll look at the calendar, and I'll go back to gross. So this is my month right now, and not including, of course, today, which I'll add tomorrow. But we have 4 days left: Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and my daily goal is 20,000 a day right now. I hit it today, and I'm there today. I've actually been averaging 21,000, it looks like, a day so far this month. So far this year, I've been averaging 30,000 a day in gross, but only 26 in net. I've spent a lot of money already this year in commissions, but I did last year as well, and it's just part of the deal. I mean, I could try to trade at a commission-free broker, but I don't think, certainly at the open, the way I was trading, how quickly I was trading something like APOP, I just don't think I'd be able to do that with TD Ameritrade. And I say that having tried it and having not been very successful at it. And of course, I shared that experience with you guys. So my 2 cents is, find the right tool that's a good fit for you. If it's a more expensive tool, but it gets the job done, then it's the right tool. Lightspeed is more expensive, but I think it's the right tool. And so I'm willing to pay that commission in order to get that high-speed routing and everything else. So it's just about what's suitable for you. And I know a lot of you guys do use other brokers, free commission brokers and stuff like that. And for your strategy or your sort of twist on the momentum strategy that I trade, it may be fine. But anyways, you do what works for you. So as always, again, I'll just put up my disclaimer here as a reminder as we finish this recap that trading is risky. Most beginner traders lose money. With that in mind, trade in a simulator before you put real money on the line. And those on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys all back here first thing tomorrow morning for the morning show. And we'll finish up this week Friday, hopefully with another green day. I hope you really enjoyed that video, and make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Our goal is to hit 1 million subscribers this year, but we won't get there without your help. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button.